Party. Hackman Owusu-Agyemang joins us on the telephone for a conversation. He's been there, done that for the party. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Owusu-Agyemang.
Good evening, my dear.
Now, 10 people have so far picked up forms to contest the Flagbearership position of the party, and there could be more. With the numbers that are picking forms, what's the reaction of the Council of Elders?
Sorry, the line is not very clear. Can you repeat your question, please? I beg
Mr.
you.
Owusu-Agyemang, I'm asking, with 10 people who have picked up form, what's the reaction of the Council of Elders?
Well, we have really basically no reaction. We tried to meet individually with the aspirants and flag bearer hopefuls and spoke to them, asked them what their program was, what we needed to know about them, what they needed to know about the situation, and tried to encourage them to sort of go about their campaign peacefully without with a lot of decorum, without insults and whatever you and the rest, because we belong to the same stables. And that's precisely what we've been doing.
Right.
We've done so to most of the aspirants. We have 3 more to go, I think. That will be Mr. Honorable Joe Gate, and Mr. Kwabre Japon, and Safo Poku. But otherwise, we've had a chat with them, a family chat, advising them, and say that at the end of the day, we need to have somebody who has appealed to the wider public, to i.e. to Ghanaians, and also, of course, to ourselves. But we do need to go through the special Congress so we can take down the number from whatever it is now to 5. Getting from the experience that we had in 2007, where we had 17 aspirants campaigning, falling over ourselves. We don't want to do that again. But at the end of the day, most importantly, that we should all come together at the end of the exercise and support the leader that is selected by the wider majority of our party members, and then move on from there. So for us as a Council of Elders, all we have to do is make sure that ensure free, fair, transparent elections, so that nobody would say that he has not been sort of treated fairly. And when that is done, then nobody has any cause also to say, I am leaving the party because I've been cheated or not.
Right.
We just want to be sure that it has happened in the past. We want to be sure that it doesn't happen now. We want to make sure everything is free, fair, and transparent.
Right.
And when that is done, then we shall all come together and prosecute our campaign and our strategy for 2024.
Ms. Owusu-Agyemang, any possibility you'd advise some of them to probably reconsider stepping down and trying to do it another time?
Well, that is something that we should try to do as a political party. If you have a political party and you don't win elections to carry out your mandate and the program that you have envisaged, then it's no use. So we tried to see whether strategically we could convince some of them. In fact, some of our elders even think that we should have a consensus candidate. But it's very difficult to convince them because all of them think that they are winning, interestingly, though. And so that's why Sir John said, fear delegates. They all think they are winning. So it's difficult, but ideally, we should be able to come together and have a consensus candidate, a candidate that be supported by all. But as I say, if that is not possible, and I wish if wishes were horses, that would be a different matter. But I think we have to try. So what you say, yes, is something that's right on the front burner. We've spoken to some of them and tried to convince them that even if some of them would drop off at this initial stage,
Right.
so we don't get more than 5, that will save it a lot of expense in going through what we call the Special Electoral College of about almost 900 people to do the winnowing, to do the sieving and things like that. Even if they don't, if we can convince 5 to sort of drop out, it will be good for us, because as a party, it will be less hassle. But if we don't, then we have to go through the motions democratically and see who would emerge, and the 5 of them would then be in a position to prosecute their own campaign, so long as they obey by the rules, and the rules will be strictly enforced.
Right.
And as I said, we shall ensure a free, fair, transparent process, so that nobody would cry that he has been cheated one way or the other.
And you have an idea who the consensus candidate will be, if there should be one?
You want me to hazard a guess? Well, I won't hazard a guess, because I'm not a pollster, neither have I carried out any surveys. But I think it would be wrong on my part to begin to speculate as to who would get it. At this point in time, we are, the Council of Elders, are neutral. But at the end of the day, even the Electoral Commissioner votes. So at the end of the day, we should have vote. But we are not speculating now as to who it would be. But I believe that in the fullness of time, things will begin to sort of straighten itself out, and we should be able then to so get a candidate.
Right.
But I will not hazard a guess at all, lest I be accused of taking sides. I will not hazard a guess. No.
Right. Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, thank you very much indeed for your time.
You're welcome. Okay.